Always mess up my nails. Never fails. Just sit still, girl. Hey. Okay, so this is such a nice color. Simple colors. I guess I'll start off now, like if you're new to my channel or whatever. I go to A&T, so I came here and I had already like knew him. I saw him one day and I was with my friend and he was with his friends and they were in the union and we walked in the union and I was like, oh hey, let's call him John. I was like, oh hey John, and he didn't speak back. So I'm just like,
okay, so we're acting funny now. You was acting funny when you was in my DM.
I just like kept walking. So then, like I think it was the same day, me and my friends again, we were going to the caf, and he was down by the caf, sitting outside. So we walk outside, and over there sitting down talking to them. So like weeks go by, and like it's like my friends and his friends, and we're just always like together. I remember one day it was raining, down raining. Everybody else was like, okay, well we just gonna go. We're not gonna stay here while it rains. So I didn't want to leave. So he stayed with me. So that was like our first time being alone together. I guess really gone without everybody else being around. So I started staying in his dorm room because I didn't like my roommate. She was in the band and she was trying to get down with a sorority and she was like dirty. She didn't clean up her side. And then my suite mates, like it was always cold in that room and I hate being cold. I wasn't about to stay in that room, so I didn't. I stayed with my man. By this time, like he wasn't my boyfriend, but he was my man. So I'm like, I stayed in an all-girls dorm and he stayed in a co-ed dorm. So it was like nobody cared that I was like, I'm taking my bags there and staying there, and we're sleeping like in his dorm room bed. And then how did it happen? I already knew, and I think he already knew too, but I don't think he wanted to believe it. So it's called the Heat Bus, which is like what does it stand for? Higher Education, something transit. So we took the Heat Bus to Walmart, and I remember I got, it was 3 tests in one box, and then I got like a little 98-cent test, the Walmart brand of a pregnancy test. So then we got back to the dorm, and I think the test said like wait until the morning. So of course I wasn't about to wait until the morning if I already had the test. So I took one of the tests, and it, like you pee. The Walmart one was one line and like a tiny little faint line. So I was like, maybe it's not true. So then I took one from the like the name brand box, and I took it, and I think I saved the other 2 for the morning time, like the box said. And I remember like all of them came back positive. So like I said, I already knew, so there was no shock factor. It didn't really hit me until after I told my aunt. So like the same week where we decided that we were gonna tell like our family. So I didn't want to tell my mother first because I already knew like she was going spaz. But granted, like she knew that I was hanging out with this guy and we were getting close, but she would have never thought like my daughter's pregnant. I sent her to school and she gets pregnant. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. It was like we were like maybe a month into being on campus. So the freshmen, we get there before like maybe a week before all of the other students. So my aunt first, because I just felt like my aunt would be able to resonate, and I don't know. I didn't feel like my mother would wouldn't be understanding, but she also wouldn't understand because my mother had me when she was like almost 30, and she got married shortly thereafter. And I don't know, it was just like she's not gonna understand. So I called my aunt. She was like, I got something to tell you. It's like she already knew, and she was like, did you tell your mother yet? And I was like, no. And she was like, you know, you gotta tell her, right? And I was like, yeah. So I called and I told my mother, and she didn't want to believe it. She was like, are you sure? Like, did you take a test? Well, maybe the test was wrong. And I'm just like, no, it's not wrong. Like, I just knew that how, like, the way it happened and the way I was feeling. I wasn't feeling like nauseous or anything, but I just like had a, I don't know. I just knew, like, how to, like, I don't know. I knew. So then John, I gotta see if he cares if I say his real name, but he like called and told his parents. I remember he called and I think he told his mother first, and then his mother was like, well, I'm not gonna tell your dad, you need to tell your dad. So he like called and told his dad, and I remember I was right there, and his father was saying like, I done told you if you was gonna get pussy out there, you need to be using condoms. And I was like, dang, like how much he had told them about me. Like one of my friends was just recording this the whole time, and I think she still has it on her laptop to this day. But after that, like I told like a few of my friends, and then some family members, and I just remember like at first I wasn't really phased, so I was like right here. Then like once I started telling people, like hearing everybody's opinion and input, it just like took me like from here to down here, like and then on top of that, still having to deal with like I'm a freshman in college, so I don't, number one, like I don't know what I'm doing. This is a new world for me. Everything is new to me. And then like I find out that I'm pregnant too. So it's just like boom, boom. Like I'm 18 years old. I've never had to live on my own. What am I gonna do with a baby? Like all of this stuff. Then I got people telling me like, you need to get an abortion. Like this is your first year in college. Now granted, my mother never told me what to do. She never said keep the baby. She never said don't keep the baby. And my father is the same way. Like he wasn't really fazed by it at all. He just said, you know, like congratulations, I think is what he said. But my mother, and I'm so grateful that she never like, she just kept it neutral, because if there was something that I wanted to do, and it was just a really sensitive time. Like if there was something that I chose to do and she told me not to, it would be like, well, you're not being supportive. And then that wasn't something that I wanted to do, and if she would have told me to do it, it's just like I would have been upset either way. So and then the people who like family members, and of course like I feel like I've forgiven them now, but I still look back on it like, how could you be so insensitive to tell me to get an abortion? Like I knew that deep down in my heart that wasn't something that I wanted to do. In high school I had always like been against it. My personal opinion, like, it's just not something that I could fathom. Yeah, that's just me. Please don't like well, even if you do, I'm probably gonna delete it, or I don't know. Right, boo? Look at this sweet little boy. Hello. There's this poem. I'll leave it in the why am I looking down? In the description box below. But the poem is a conversation between the mother and the baby that was aborted. And it's just like so deep, and Go watch it if you have a chance. I'm gonna link it down below. But I remember like watching that and like just looking up information about happens when the baby is 4 weeks and 5 weeks and 6 weeks, and I remember like around 5 or 6 weeks, like your baby has a heartbeat. So when people say like life doesn't start in the womb, like if your baby has if anything has a pulse, like it's I'm pretty sure that means it's alive. So yeah, here I am. It was out there. But then like once my belly started getting bigger and I started like, you know, things started getting hard for me because I was still in the dorm room. Clothes weren't fitting the same. I started transitioning like from my relaxed hair to my natural hair. It was just a long like journey. Me maturing really and finding out who I was as a woman. Like I'm waddling around campus and people are staring at me and looking at me and not speaking but whispering and talking about me like they've never seen a pregnant person before. I just was wondering, like, am I the only one? Act like they've never seen a pregnant girl before. Maybe they were just so amazed by the fact that I was still here. All glory goes to God for that one, because people still ask me, how are you in school and working and managing having a child? And it's just like, not to be rude, but because I want to. Like, it's, for me, it's not that hard because I have it in my heart to do it. Like, I can't imagine not having Miles or how my life would be if I had an abortion or given him up for adoption or anything else. Like, things are hard for me, don't get me wrong, but I would rather have it this way than any other way. And like, things are much better than they could have been. And I do know a lot of girls who let me just say, pregnancy is not the worst thing that can happen to you, especially on a college campus and especially on an HBCU campus. So please believe that there's people out here with HIV, AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia and don't even know it, everything else. And let me also just say that me and doing what I was doing and laying up with somebody that I didn't really know, I'm so glad that none of those things happened to me, because I definitely probably don't deserve to be here right now, just being as naive as I was and unsafe as I was. Like, Miles is honestly the best thing that came out of that situation, the best way to put it. So I guess to end this off, I wanted to say that if like you know someone, I always get like DMs from girls who go to my school, or some girls like I don't even know, and they'll say like, you really inspire me, like how do you do it, and I'm pregnant, I don't know how to tell my family, I don't even want to tell my family because they're gonna tell me to get an abortion. Like, I get so many messages from so many girls, and it's just like, you never know what somebody's going through, so please always be kind. And please know that that is a very sensitive time for a woman. If you know someone going through that, or if you're going through that yourself, don't, like, just watch what you say and the things that you do, because it will definitely have an impact on her life and maybe even her child's life. So if you don't have anything nice to say, definitely don't say anything at all. If you need somebody to talk to or advice, I'll leave my email down below. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Pregnancy is not a death sentence. Having a child at a young age. I was 18 when I got pregnant. I was 19 when I had him. So your life will definitely not be over. Look, say bye.
Bye.
Say see you in the next video.
What's that?
Bitches, so you can make them jealous. Now